Okay, so with this total solar eclipse coming up in a couple of days on the 4th of December, which is about 7:30 in the morning UTC time, I just wanted to cover what the total solar eclipses are in the dual pulse overnight timeline. So the blood moons, first of all, are signs for night watches. They're night hours, okay? Blood moons are total lunar eclipses, right? So we've got 8 of them. And therefore, the other 2 types of lunar eclipses are signs for day hours, and the other 2 types of lunar eclipses are known as partial and penumbral lunar eclipses. Okay, so in total there are 18 lunar eclipses, and there's 2 here, right, in 2020. So with these total solar eclipses, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and potentially a 6th one coming up in December. Right, now these are signs for nights themselves within the inner timeline of the timeline, which is how we transfer from the 14th day to the 17th day of the first day, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Okay, so by the time Jesus gave up his spirit on the cross, the sign of Jonah has transpired with these 3 total solar eclipses as being 3 signs for 3 nights. Now, the understanding is that the day changes 2 weeks after the total solar eclipse. Now, I don't mean 2 literal weeks, I mean like a half a lunar month, because approximately a lunar month is 29.5 days, which is worked out to be roughly about 4 weeks, okay, in a lunar cycle. So if I say 2 weeks, I mean like half of a lunar month, right? So we move from the day on the next full moon. Now, it may be that we change the day at the total solar eclipse or the day after the total solar eclipse. Now, you can only have a total solar eclipse happening on a dark moon, and you can only have a lunar eclipse happening on a full moon. So that's something there that is good to bear in mind as well. Now, I've made the transition of the day happening at the next full moon, okay, which is quite interesting because we're going to see as this time period progresses, right, with these other, obviously we've had 2 more total solar eclipses, which is why we transitioned from the 17th day to the 19th day. So the 19th day is the 5th day from the 14th day. So this is why Jesus waited 2 days, right, and then he raised Lazarus after Lazarus been in the tomb 4 days. So Lazarus was raised on the 5th day. So the 5th day from the 14th day would be the 19th day. This is why this total solar eclipse is important in a way, because it closes the 19th day, and the transformation should happen within the 19th day. So whether this actual total solar eclipse transfers the day from the 19th day to the 20th day on the 4th of December, or the next day being the 5th of December, or whether it transfers at the next full moon, right, which is half of a lunar more month to go, which is approximately 2 more weeks, which would take us to the 19th of December for the full moon, we will yet to see. But ultimately, it looks like this total solar eclipse will bring forth the closing time period of the dual pulse overnight timeline, because it's 2 weeks after the partial lunar eclipse, which balances out the timeline really well, because there was 2 weeks before the lunar eclipse, which was the blood moon tetrad beginning in April 2014, where the Hebrew year began on the crescent moon sighting of the moon on the 1st of April 2014, with the dark moon happening on the 30th of March 2014. So having 2 weeks before the timeline begins and 2 weeks after the timeline ends, in a sense, helps to balance out the timeline, so we get 47.5 lunar months on the top and 47.5 lunar months on the bottom. 2 weeks prior to the lunar eclipse here, and 2 weeks after the lunar eclipse at the end of the timeline, which is why the total solar eclipse could be a closing sign for this dual pulse overnight timeline. And it's very significant because it could even happen on Friday, okay, because the actual total solar eclipse happens in the morning on Saturday, okay, so bear in mind it could happen on Friday. Now I just want to show you a video that I did October 16th 2017. This was went really dark in the afternoon because of Storm Ophelia blowing over Sahara desert sand. Now, it doesn't look as dark on the camera, but it was quite dark, right, with your natural eyes. And even when you were inside, you had to put your lights on indoors, right? So I just wanted to show everyone this. this event actually looked like a total solar eclipse, but it wasn't. But it had that eerie feeling to it, okay, that you would get with a total solar eclipse. Now, this total solar eclipse is happening in Antarctica, so it's not really going to be in any place there's going to be sort of a witness to it. That's why there's no live streams happening on timeanddate.com, but you can follow a picture event that they may be doing and uploading an update on it. But ultimately, I just wanted to give a very quick video just to show why the total solar eclipse coming up is an important sign within the dual pulse overnight timeline, because only total solar eclipses are included in this timeline, right? The other types of solar eclipses are not included. So it's only total solar eclipses that are taken into account on this timeline, as well as the 3 different types of lunar eclipses, being total lunar eclipses, which are blood moons for signs for night hours, and the partial and penumbral lunar eclipses as being signs for day hours. And this is revelation from God the Father that surrounds the passion of the Christ. Hopefully we will be transformed in a twinkling of an eye at the total solar eclipse, otherwise the day after, being the 5th of December, or we will watch up until the full moon on the 19th of December. God bless you. Have a great day.